If I prove to you that the first 2 minutes of your day are destroying everything, would you keep doing the same thing tomorrow? There's something happening every morning, silently, that's draining your focus before you even notice. And no, it's not laziness. It's a pattern that's controlling you. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to understand can flip a switch that never goes back. If this hits you in any way, hit like now. It shows me you want out of this cycle. And if you really want to take back control of your mind, subscribe, because what comes next can completely change your day. You don't realize it yet, but there's a moment in your day that decides everything. It's not when you work. It's not when you study. It's not when you try to focus. It's before. Way before. And if you mess this up, the rest of your day is already lost. You wake up, grab your phone, just 1 minute. And before you know it, your mind is already tired, without even starting. It seems small. It seems harmless. But it's not. Because this habit is training your brain every single day to lose. And the worst part? You think the problem is lack of discipline. But it's not. It's much deeper than that. You felt this before. You wake up with good intentions, but something blocks you. You try to start, but you feel resistance. Everything feels harder than it should. Your mind drifts. Focus doesn't come. Energy disappears. And at the end of the day, that heavy feeling hits. I could have done more. Then the next day, it all repeats. And it stacks up. Bad days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. And before you realize it, you're stuck. Not because you lack ability, but because of an invisible pattern. And that pattern starts at a specific moment. In the first minutes of your day. Here's what no one tells you. Your brain, when you wake up, is extremely sensitive. It's blank, ready to be programmed. And what you do in that moment sets the mental tone for the rest of your day. If you start with fast stimulation, high dopamine, distraction, your brain learns one thing. I need stimulation to function. So when it's time to do something important, study, or focus, your brain rejects it because it feels too slow, too boring, no reward. And it's not because you're lazy, it's because you trained your brain to avoid effort without realizing it. Now think about this. If you start your day scrolling, jumping from video to video, your brain goes into reactive mode. You're not in control. You're being pulled. Every notification, every image, every stimulus is deciding for you. And that destroys something fundamental. Direction. You don't choose your day. You react to it. And that changes everything. Because people who live reacting never build anything consistent. They try. But it always feels like starting from zero. Now here's the part that might bother you. You don't need more discipline. You need to stop starting wrong. Because when the start is wrong, everything becomes a fight. Everything takes effort. Everything drains you. Everything feels heavy. But when the start is right, everything flows. And this is where the habit comes in. Simple. Ridiculously simple. But powerful. In the first minutes of your day, you don't touch your phone. Not even for 2 minutes. That's it. Just 2 minutes of silence. No stimulation. No distraction. No escape. You get up, breathe, and stay present. It seems small, but it does something deep. You teach your brain a new rule. I start my day in control. And that changes your mental state. You don't start reacting. You start deciding. And that activates a different part of your brain. The part that executes, that focuses, that builds. Now imagine the effect of repeating this for days. Without that early flood of stimulation, your mind becomes more stable, clear, less anxious. And when you sit down to do something important, you don't have to fight as much, because you didn't sabotage your brain beforehand. That's the point. It's not about doing more. It's about stopping the self-sabotage at the start. Because most people lose their day in the first minutes, and they don't even know it. They wake up and hand over control every single day, and then they spend the rest of the time trying to recover something that's already gone. Energy, focus, clarity. But it doesn't work like that. You don't recover what you destroyed at the start. You carry it all day long. Now let me show you something. If you wake up and immediately dive into stimulation, your brain hits an artificial dopamine spike, and then it crashes. And when it crashes, everything feels harder, heavier, slower. So you look for more stimulation, more phone, more distraction, and it becomes a cycle. You're not living, you're being pulled. And that's dangerous, because over time, you lose your ability to focus deeply. You lose patience, you lose consistency, and you start to believe you're just not built for this. But that's not it. You're just addicted to starting wrong. Now imagine the opposite. You wake up, stay in silence for 2 minutes, no stimulation. Your brain doesn't spike artificial dopamine. It stabilizes. And that creates a clean base. When you start your first task, it doesn't feel impossible, because your mind hasn't been polluted yet. This small habit creates a domino effect, a silent effect, but powerful. You start your day better, so you execute better, so you finish better, and that reinforces your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who controls their day, and that changes everything. Now here's the warning. If you ignore this, nothing changes. You can try 1,000 productivity techniques, watch 1,000 videos, buy courses, but if you keep starting your day wrong, you'll stay stuck, because you're fighting with a sabotaged brain. And that's a losing battle. The difference between those who move forward and those who stay stuck isn't strength, it's strategy. And this is one of the simplest that exists. 2 minutes, that's it. But done every day, it completely changes the game. So tomorrow, when you wake up, before you grab your phone, before you escape, before you distract yourself, stay in silence, breathe, and take control. Because either you start your day, or the world starts it for you. And when the world starts it for you, you've already low.